Annyeonghaseyo, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, like, comment, subscribe. My name is Gymnasa. I like reacting to BTS. But overall, I'm really just a curious person. I like trying new things, learning new things. Overall. But yeah, today I've got the next BTS, why they fail every time. I'm curious. And who in the world is the next BTS? I don't think there can be a new BTS. I don't even think that should be something people are aiming for. Rather something like the next you know what I'm saying? If it's BTS, if it's, this and that, the next them, you know what I'm saying? I feel like comparison is a thief of joy. We all know that. So, yeah, I don't think any new band or any new group should be coming out wanting to be the next BTS. But, now that we got that out the way, I want you guys to know also, I started going live on YouTube. And when I go live on YouTube, I'm just basically reacting to videos that YouTube normally won't let me upload, like such as live reactions, live shows and things of that nature. And also, I do have a Patreon, and all those full lives will be posted on the Patreon, where I also take a lot of requests and things of that nature. But anyways, let's get straight into it. I'm excited. I've got my drink, and at this point, I know a lot about BTS. I know all their names. I reacted to their single stuff. Hey man, so I'm
In
good. I'm ready.
2019, BTS were already well established as the biggest group in the world.
Fact.
3 years after their American TV debut had already passed, and their success only kept growing. The name BTS was associated with some of the biggest names in the music industry. This helped K-pop grow as a whole, but BTS were the only ones in the spotlight in the Western music industry. The K-pop industry noticed this, so SM, one of the biggest entertainment agencies in South Korea, had the idea to create a supergroup formed of the 7 most popular members of some of the most popular K-pop groups and promoted.
I'm not gonna lie to you, that's wild. First of all, that's wild, and that's a cheat code. I'm not gonna lie to you, cause so they formed a supergroup with like people that were already famous. Isn't it, bruh? That is a cheat. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Entertainment agencies in South Korea had the idea to create a supergroup formed of the 7 most popular members of some of the most popular K-pop groups.
That's crazy. That's like picking the Harry style of every group. That's crazy.
And promoted them as the
most popular people of the most popular members of other groups. That's crazy, and that's, excuse my French, that's fucked up. I ain't gonna lie.
Avengers of K-pop. This way, their success was supposed to be guaranteed, and their chances of becoming the next BTS were bigger than the chances of the hundreds of other K-pop groups also trying to level with the success of BTS. This supergroup did everything they could. Their label SM Entertainment partnered with the US label Capitol Records. Their debut stage was in Hollywood. Their TV debut was on the Ellen DeGeneres Show. They also performed on Jimmy Kimmel. Their premiere event was in Los Angeles and had American press. Their debut album had 8 different versions, 1 regular version and 1 individual edition for each of the 7 members. And they started an American tour right away. All of this promotion helped them get a #1 on the Billboard 200 albums charts, making them the second Korean act to top the chart, only after BTS. This made
I guess to a certain extent, their hard work and after a lot of money spent, they got a #1.
Los Angeles Times and entertainment companies predict.
They charted on the Billboard.
Korean act to top the chart, only after BTS. This made Los Angeles Times and entertainment companies predict that this group was going to be the next BTS. But there was something weird. Outside of the K-pop sphere, no one really knew about them. They were everywhere, and their album was #1, but the songs of the album were nowhere to be found on song charts like the Billboard Hot 100, or even in the top 20 of the bubbling under Hot 100. And right after their album debuted at #1, it disappeared from the top 10. Their second album had a similar story. The Avengers of K-pop performed in American TV shows and even partnered with Marvel for limited edition merchandise. But their album debuted at #2 with none of its songs charting on the Hot 100. This was only one of the multiple failed next BTS attempts, whether they are Korean girl groups or Korean boy groups. Year after year, Korean entertainment agencies and American music labels have been trying to replicate BTS's success.
You guys are the biggest boy band in the world.
It's not a secret that the K-pop industry has been studying BTS's popularity.
I'm not gonna lie to you, they're one of one. You know what I mean? The boys is one of
for
one.
years. An
Can't
industry
recreate
official
it, man.
said, right now, the biggest concern in the K-pop industry is who will make the next BTS. So all attention is focused on the performance of the United States. The entertainment agency's main strategy to set the narrative that their group is the actual next BTS is to hyper-focus on getting one or two achievements that BTS previously had. But since this is almost impossible, they go out of their way to find strategies in which they can be named together, hoping that people won't bother to know the context. One example is album sales. BTS are the second group only after the Beatles to get 3 #1 albums in less than a year. This phrase was everywhere.
And they just became the first group since the Beatles to earn 3.
That's hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's quite a phrase. The first group since the Beatles. The first group since the Beatles, because everybody knows the Beatles. I don't even know that many songs from the Beatles. I don't even know every member's name besides the I only know one, and that's because he did a song with Kanye West and Rihanna. Literally, the Met You guy. I don't know his name.
In less than a year.
This is a very hard record for K-pop or for any artist to achieve, but getting at least one #1 album may be enough to be named in the same conversation as BTS. So although these groups cannot have an organic #1 album because of lack of demand in the US, they still can sell multiple versions of the same album with different pictures that fans can collect at a very small price. This will lead to a lot of album sales, but not song sales or streams. So the normal thing for a real #1 album is to have at least one top 10 song or multiple songs on the Billboard Hot 100, because if an album is popular, then at least one song of the album has to be popular. This doesn't happen with K-pop albums because they are not actually big in the US, but that doesn't matter. These groups technically have a #1 or a #2 album, so entertainment agencies will use this to pretend like they will be the next BTS because they have the same achievement. Another example, BTS are one of the few artists who can sell out stadium tours these days. This is something extremely hard even for the biggest Western artists you can imagine. So K-pop's strategy to pretend like they also have a stadium tour is to have at least one concert in places like the Bank of California Stadium, which doesn't actually have a stadium capacity. It has an arena capacity of only 20,000 people. A stadium is just part of the arena venue's name. An actual stadium tour, like BTS's tours, is composed of multiple concerts in stadiums with 40,000 to 80,000 seats in each concert. So thanks to media play, other K-pop groups can be named as the next BTS because they are supposedly having stadium tours when they are actually performing in arenas, theaters.
They performing some little ass stadium and claiming stadium status. They claiming to be selling out stadiums when they, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Between that stadium and the stadium the BTS performs at, there was at least a 25,000 people or seatings difference. That's the difference. Literally, BTS doubled, and that's just like the smaller stadiums that BTS performs in.
And one arena venue that has a stadium in its name. These type of strategies are very common. Whenever BTS does something, the K-pop industry focuses on that something. This is why K-pop groups started submitting their work to the Grammys only after BTS started getting nominations to the Grammys. And not only that, but if BTS is nominated to Best Pop Duo Group Performance, the media's attention is on Best Pop Duo Group Performance. So K-pop groups submit their songs for this category. One of the latest BTS Grammy nominations is for...
That's crazy. They competing with them. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Best music video. This is a new achievement for them because they've never been nominated for this category. So I can assure you that next year...
Let me see, 2022 Best Music Video Album of the Year.
Here, K-pop groups will start submitting...
You guys let me know in 2022 which one of their songs got nominated for Best Music Video, so I could, I probably already seen it, but you guys let me know to make sure.
Their music videos for this category, and the media will drop predictions saying that they will also be nominated because the industry only goes after what BTS already has.
No matter how you shred it, trust Galvani, the mozzarella experts.
Listen, we hit ads, but
at this point, even our grandmas.
Oh my God. Love grandma though. Okay, let's get back to it. Don't mind that, guys. Don't mind that. That won't be on Patreon. I love this song, by the way.
The next BTS
I love that song. I like Mic Drop and Dynamite, Mic Drop. I'm trying to remember my favorite ones. Dynamite, Mic Drop. I like Allow Me to Dance when they were dancing in the desert. That's not the actual title. I'm not good with titles. I like that one. I like I'm so sick and tired of fake you love, fake you love, fake you love. I like that video for that one was crazy. And Idol somehow, bro. Listen, they call me Idol. They call me I'm proud of it, bro.
Attempts. But what about Western attempts?
I like a lot of the other songs too, but those songs in particular, Dynamite, Mic Drop, because Mic Drop probably because that was the first BTS song I reacted to. Mic Drop, Bunjit, bro.
In a video made some time ago, I went through the multiple attempts of creating the next big boy band after One Direction. And these attempts came around 2016 and 2017, when BTS were rising to popularity in the West and were named the biggest group in the world.
I know CNCO.
However, I don't think these new boy bands were trying to be the next BTS, because
First
BTS
Forever
were
in Your
fairly
Mind
new,
is
and
a
BTS
wild
were
name.
seen as a fluke or a weird phenomenon
Why
that will
Don't We
last
is not
probably
bad.
1 or 2 years. But year after year passed by, and the multiple new Western boy bands, which were backed by the biggest Western music labels, kept failing trying to surpass BTS. And not even the biggest comebacks of popular old boy bands could compete against BTS. So in 2019, Simon Cowell,
Big Time Rush, bro. I remember Big Time Rush. I used to watch the show.
the creator of One Direction, had the amazing idea of creating a new British group that would become bigger than BTS, and said that
Really?
his UK pop group will destroy the K-pop group which is ruling the world.
We're going to try and find either the biggest boy group in the world or the biggest girl group in the world. We've done it before, we're going to do it again. Right now, K-pop, you could argue, is ruling the world. Now, it's time for UK pop.
So his singing show The X Factor had a special season called The X Factor The Band, dedicated to group together a boy
Really?
band and a girl band. These two groups would then compete against each other, and the winner
never
would
heard
get
of
a
this.
record deal with Simon Cowell's label Psycho Music, release their debut album, and become the biggest group in the world. In the end, the boy band Simon created ended up losing the show, not signing to Psycho Music, and breaking up a few months after their creation. The girl group did get a record deal with Psycho Music, but they never released a debut album, and one of the 6 members left the group to pursue a solo career. In 2022,
Wow.
they left Psycho Music, signed to Warner Records, and another member left the group. Another attempt of creating the next BTS failed once again.
The American Music Award goes to
BTS.
The latest attempt of finding the next
BTS. I guess
BTS
you was
joined the
excited for them.
forces of the K-pop industry and the biggest representative of the Western music industry, Billboard. The K-Billboard Awards was an event organized by the K-Culture Festival and Billboard, which
okay.
attempted to highlight the biggest achievements of K-pop artists based on the Billboard charts. The organizer said, "This is part of our mission to find the next BTS. We will strictly adhere to Billboard's point system." But do you know what happens when you adhere to Billboard's point system? BTS wins. So they also named the second place as the winners, continuing their strategy to associate K-pop groups with BTS, even when the gap between first and second place is abysmal.
There's been so many legends to walk through this door. There's been Frank Sinatra, the Beatles, Dean Martin, and now we have, wait for it, the Avengers of K-pop.
SM's founder, Lee Sung-man, was the one with the idea of creating the Avengers of K-pop, and this was one of his multiple attempts of creating the next BTS. But since he fails every time, at some
What were
point the
his other
media
attempts?
started naming him as the mastermind behind BTS, when he literally had zero relation to the group. He was actually managing groups that tried to directly compete against BTS. But he is
Right.
not the only one. The 3 biggest K-pop
Listen, we didn't forget about. Listen, I watched another video. We did not forget about how these three big records was doing everything and anything to stop BTS from shining, bro. They was doing everything within their powers, man, pulling all kinds of strings. BTS had to self-promote, man. They was making vlogs. They was doing day in lives and things of that nature. Free performances, free shows and whatnot, just to get themselves out there. Yeah, man.
labels are pushing the idea that their groups are actually the next BTS. SM had the Avengers of K-pop, but since they are on a hiatus, he is now pushing a 4-member girl group to become the future of K-pop. YG is using media play and allegedly buying awards in small American award shows to pretend like his biggest girl group is on the same level as BTS. And most recently, JYP had Korean media suddenly releasing multiple articles naming his group as the next BTS. I don't think this is a coincidence. This all seems like
The thing about it is it's crazy. It's crazy because no matter what they do, they can't not put their name in the title. No matter what they do, bro, look at all this different, bro. BTS, next BTS, just like BTS. Like, come on, man.
premeditated media play. But how is it that they keep failing, even with all the media play they can get? I found some common factors in their failed attempts. First is lack of originality. If
That's
BTS
what it
releases an
is.
album trilogy about self-love and acceptance, K-pop starts singing about self-love and acceptance.
That's crazy. I love myself. That's from Idol. That's from Idol, isn't it? I love myself, bro. It's actually kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. That was actually kind of funny. That's ridiculous. Man. I love myself. Literally, they just slowed it down. That's it.
As I began to love myself.
If BTS releases a song
Bro.
like Fake Love, K-pop groups
I'm not gonna lie, she's good, bro. She's good at literally finding all the facts and backing it up with videos and whatnot, bro.
immediately release songs with a dark aesthetic. BTS stops the dark aesthetic and releases Boy With Love. K-pop groups release songs with a pink aesthetic. BTS releases a song titled Life Goes On. K-pop releases Life Is Still Going On.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you. They gotta sue them for plagiarism or something. They gotta sue them. They gotta sue everybody else. They gotta sue every other group, bro. Because this is ridiculous, bro. There's no way they should be allowed to be happening, bro.
BTS releases Smooth Like Butter. K-pop
Butter.
releases Sweet Like
That's another one I like, but the same dance, bro. Hold on, bro. The same dance too?
BTS releases Smooth Like Butter. K-pop releases Sweet Like Mango. And these are just trivial examples
Sweet like
that
mango, bro. Don't. First of all, take mango out of that, bro. Because I love mangoes. Take mango out of that, bro. This is ridiculous, bro. It's actually kind of disgusting. I ain't gonna lie. The fact that literally whatever they do is what they do. What? I feel like BTS's record label, or BTS record label should be getting money or getting paid from, you know what I'm saying, from these other labels because of what they're doing, bro.
don't really matter much. The key here is lack of originality. K-pop
Yes.
does the same thing over and over again, and that is not necessarily a bad thing for a K-pop audience. But if you keep trying to make this work in a Western audience, you will keep failing. Number 2 is
Facts.
trying to be unique in the wrong aspect. When the next BTS attempts actually try to be original, they sometimes try to be original in everything but the music. An example of this is SM's attempt of creating a metaverse group with 4 members who are real people and 4 members who are their virtual alter egos. So producers are not trying to find unique, interesting artists with new,
does
rare,
that
or
work?
just not so common musical elements. They are trying to create groups that are different in aspects that music fans don't care about. I personally think that the Avengers
Right.
of K-pop idea was not the worst idea ever, but they focused too much on everything.
Right, I was gonna say I don't think that's the worst idea. I'm not gonna lie. It's just what I said was it's actually a cheat code. I'm not gonna lie. It's actually a cheat code because you don't necessarily have to promote them because they're already famous. You know what I'm saying? Like they're already so famous and so popular. It's like you just create the group and have them make original content, make good music so that they can chart. You know what I mean? That's really all it would have took or it should have took. But they did too much.
Except for the music. SM tried to sell the idea that this group's unique aspect was that, unlike BTS and the others, the members had a manly man aesthetic. But who cares if they look like masculine men with black clothes who are
that's what
called
they
the
were going for?
Avengers when their music is this?
What the fuck, bro? Bro, I can write that. I can write that. We keep it bumping and jumping. Oh, bro, what? Jumping and popping. Man, listen, I hope I don't sound like a hater, man. Maybe I need to react to Super M's other songs and see it. But this one that she's using in context is not it, bro. This one is not it right here. This one is not it. And have you seen BTS live? Man, this right here is not it.
Clothes, who are called the Avengers, when the music is
that
this.
right there is cool. Well, what does jopping even mean? Jumping and popping combined to create jopping? Maybe I'm hating, man.
By the way, if you like this song, it's completely fine. I'm just saying that I think we can all understand why it didn't succeed in America. So once they failed, they left the Melly Man aesthetic and went back to the first mistake. Right after BTS released their first English single Dynamite and sang about shining through the city and
Oh man. Listen, let me see. Because obviously the whole aesthetic was, black manly man cool, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? Ride that wave. You know what I'm saying? Stay in your lane, make it happen within that. You know what I mean? But she's saying they went back to doing what BTS was doing.
being like Diamond, this group changed Diamond for Gold and sang in English about shining bright like gold. And don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with following music trends. But if that's all you do, you won't stand out, especially when you're trying so hard to create the next BTS. Number 3 is the lack of raw talent. Pretty people singing with loud pre-recorded vocals or playback are almost a rule in K-pop. But that won't work if you want to be the next BTS and you're debuting in America. K-pop is prioritizing looks way more than it should be. YG admitted that his biggest girl group was just a prettier version of a previous girl group. He said, "If you ask me to distinguish my new group from my last group, I want to say I did not try to make them different. If you ask me what differentiates them from other girl groups, I will say I did not form them with that in mind. I tried to make a girl group like I did with my previous girl group, but this time I wanted the girls to look pretty too. I won't pretend like looks don't matter in the Western music industry, because they do, but good looks and a nice aesthetic is not."
Do they? I guess to the majority of K-pop fans, whom I'm concluding that it's a lot of females. I want to say, I'm not sure, but like for me, I'm not watching this shit for the looks. Like I said, Dynamite is a pretty cool song. Mic Drop is a very cool song. I can literally listen to that on the Stairmaster at the gym. I can listen to that when I'm driving, you know what I'm saying? Mic Drop, but yeah, it's cool, bro. And plus RM, Sugar, J-Hope, like they spit fire, bro. They rap like crazy, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I guess for majority of the audience, perhaps
enough.
It's all
Korean
about
labels
looks.
need to start prioritizing at least a little
I
of
guess
talent
looks
and
matter
passion
as
for
well.
music. Finally, I think the next BTS attempts keep failing because music labels are obsessed with control and being the main character. I think they want to control all of their
I know
group's
him. I
steps
like him.
because the CEOs want to be recognized for finding and paying the best songwriters in the industry instead of encouraging their interpreters to be artists. I think this is why JYP had articles putting his picture on his
Next BTS guess. Hold on. So that's JYP. Is he? Because I know him from his comedic songs. Oopa. Oh no, that's not who. That's not who I think it is. I'm thinking about the guy that sings Upa Gangnam Style. Oh, that's who I'm thinking of. That's not him.
group's articles, so he can be called the mastermind behind the next BTS. This is also why SM was everywhere saying that he was the one with the idea of creating the Avengers of K-pop and the Metaverse group.
I want to take the time to acknowledge a very special guest we have in the building. We have producer Mr. Suman Lee.
that's not what BTS's label did, and that's not what Namjoon did as the leader of BTS. They let the group shine as a group. With that said, I don't think it's necessarily bad that the producers behind a group explain the process of creating a group, but the focus should be on the group and their music, not on the CEOs. Number 5 is not accepting that BTS are way too out of their league. This person tweeted, "It all boils down to these labels refusing to accept that BTS is not just a K-pop group anymore. They are talked about in actual pop conversations. They have solidified a legacy. They are literally worldwide A-listers."
Facts. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw how much they bring into the Korean, or how much they contribute to the Korean GDP it's great. I mean, how much they bring in as far as like finance wise for the whole of South Korea. Like, bro, billions, bro, billions.
Global artists.
That's crazy.
Music labels make every move based off the fact that, well, they are a K-pop group, so the world must all love and want more K-pop. And that's just not how it works. That's why they keep failing.
That's facts.
Okay. Protect your family's dreams under our roof.
Excuse me. That's facts, especially for someone that I genuinely didn't listen to K-pop at all before this. You know, before you guys put me on to BTS, I genuinely will not be going out looking to listen to K-pop, or even like, I guess, more K-pop if you guys didn't want to put me on. You know what I mean? So I think it's a matter of liking BTS and, you know, resonating with BTS, and then just loving K-pop music in general. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know. I understand what I'm saying.
So I guess if you as a producer or record label really want to create or be the mastermind behind the next BTS in terms of popularity, you need to look for very unique artists that are not necessarily going to be part of a group like BTS. I may be saying complete nonsense now because I'm not a record producer or anything like that, but the actual record producers and analysts have been studying BTS closely for years, and they keep failing. So this is just what a simple music fan like me would do. Number 1, if you want to create the next big artist in America, you need to first focus on the music. Looks are great, but
what you mean? Shouldn't that be at least 50% or 75%? Because I understand, obviously, being able to sing does not completely make an artist. That's why they have songwriters and, you know, background singers and things of that nature. But shouldn't that be at least 70%? I mean, 50%, at least 50% to 75% of it?
every single K-pop group has good looks. You need to step up your music game. You cannot debut in America with a song about being the best at jumping.
You have to tell me what jumping means.
Jumping?
Yes.
And popping.
We jumping! Jumping, of course. Oh, yeah. Why did I ask?
See, I knew earlier in the video when I met, you know what I'm saying, when I kind of saw what they meant by jumping, I was like, yeah, this is ridiculous, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is ridiculous. You want to be known for jumping and popping?
With a song about being the best at jumping.
Again, I don't want to sound like a hater, but
jumping?
Yes.
And popping.
We jumping! Jumping, of course. Oh, yeah. Why did I ask?
Number 2, and this also applies to Western attempts. Don't be mediocre and lazy. The reason why every single attempt of the next big boy band failed in 2016 and 2017, and also the reason why the comeback of all boy bands failed too, was because they were extremely mediocre when compared to BTS. This is
I like Big Time Rush. If you little boyfriend. I grew up on Big Time Rush, the Jonas Brothers, you know, things of that nature.
The main reason why it's highly unlikely to find the next BTS, because BTS did not only set the bar extremely high for K-pop, but also for the Western music industry. So stop comparing yourself.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. In this clip right here, even when they showed it earlier, it was nothing but lip sync. Like, they weren't singing at all.
To BTS?
They weren't singing at all. And when you watch BTS live, bro, even, bro, on the Grammy and things of that nature, they're singing live while also doing crazy dance moves, bro.
Because that is a game that you are going to lose. Number 3, and this is for music labels. Be patient.
Facts.
The Beatles, Michael Jackson, Queen, and BTS did not become the biggest artists in the world with their first release. Don't try to force or fake a big debut when it really...
Facts, bro. If you look through my other reactions, I reacted to No More Dream, which was wild. That was a wild time for them. I reacted to Bulletproof, which was wild as well. Fire, bro, it took time, bro. It took time. It took time.
It isn't a big debut, and more importantly, don't be like Simon
Fire is
Cowell
fire,
or
though. I like
SM
Fire.
and abandon
Fire,
your group when the media play didn't work. Small debuts are not necessarily a bad thing. The ones trying to create the next BTS are some of the biggest labels. So instead of spending all this money in fake achievements and media play, try to spend this money in keeping your group alive as long as you can, so they can musically and artistically grow. Number 4, be it different. If you really want to have a big debut like Olivia Rodrigo or Justin Bieber, look for what the music industry is missing, not what it already has. When Olivia Rodrigo debuted, the industry didn't have a Disney star sing about her love life for years. And when Justin Bieber debuted, he became the first teenage heartthrob born on the internet. Find something different, because BTS's level of artistry takes years to replicate.
I remember the Justin Bieber
did not
time,
have
bro.
a huge debut in South Korea, but when they entered the Western music industry, they had already perfected for more than 4 years artistic elements that the Western music industry didn't see before. In other words, to find the next BTS, you need to stop trying to find the next BTS.
Fact. Fact. You would think that's self-explanatory, but I guess not. Did I stop exactly at an ad?
Yeah, I'm back. But only because you have not downloaded Pi Adblock.
Oh, hold on. Maybe I should have watched that Thursday. Maybe she was trying to pull me on.
You may think that right now is the right time to create the next BTS, because BTS are not releasing music as a 7-member group for the next 2 years. But the fact that they are still planning to release a lot of music during this time is not a good sign to continue creating groups that resemble them. The Backstreet...
Y'all let me know in the comments how many days they all have left, or the ones that are still in.
Boys took a 4-year hiatus, and during this time, no other boy band could become as big or bigger than them. And BTS's level of performance and music, as well as worldwide popularity, is even bigger and harder to replicate than the one of the Backstreet Boys. This is how hard it will forever be to replicate BTS. Even if the BTS members release no music at all during this time or any other time in the future, that actually leaves K-pop at disadvantage in the Western music industry, because all the hype around K-pop is born with an interest in BTS. K-pop's achievements in the West are not K-pop's achievements, they are BTS's achievements. So if BTS stops being BTS, K-pop will definitely be
21.3 billion. Look at everybody, bro. Combined. I think I reacted to Stray Kids. Did I? Yeah, I think I reacted to one song by Stray Kids. EXO, I've never heard of those. Twice, Blackpink, Red Velvet. I've definitely never heard of Red Velvet, but Blackpink I think I've heard of. I've never reacted to any of their stuff either. And listen, I'm not a hater, bro. Listen, literally, honestly, if you guys want me to react to any of their stuff, I'm honestly open to it. I'm open to it. Like I said in the beginning of the video, open-minded as fudge, bro. Listen, and not only do I want to react to music, I want to react to songs. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that was wild, what I just said. Not only do I react to music, I want to react to songs. That was wild. Excuse that. But I'm saying not only do I want to react to music, I want to react to movies. I want to react to TV shows. Yeah, pull me on, bro. Yeah, pull me on. Because Parasite, that movie, directed by a Korean director. It was a Korean movie. Let's put it as it is. It was a Korean movie. It was incredible. I like movies that make you think. I like things that make you think, I just like interesting stuff. Even the first season of Squid Game was incredible. Second season, I watched like 3 episodes and I cut ties with it completely. But first season was incredible. It was just it was refreshing. You know what I mean?
Bigger than what they were before 2017. But they will go back to being a niche interest, because the ones giving K-pop the title of mainstream are BTS only. Without them, K-pop has no legendary records in the West. I know it's hard to believe because of all the media play that exists trying to devalue BTS's popularity and art, but musical acts like BTS are once in a lifetime. We don't know if the next big thing is even going to be a group from South Korea or a boy band from the UK. By the way things are going on right now, there are more chances of having the next big legendary artist come from a Spanish-speaking country, and there are way more chances for these legendary artists.
Also with that, I also don't mind reacting to Spanish music and things of that nature. Like I just want like my channel or our channel to be an inclusive channel that explores creativity from all over the world. You know what I'm saying? Be in movies, be in dancing, be in television, be in like. I just want to explore. I just want to explore it all. You know what I mean? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Or am I doing too much?
To be a soloist, but that would only happen by promoting the artist as their own authentic self. And this is something that BTS is doing right now while they release solo albums. So it looks like the next BTS is BTS. Not only because their comeback in 2025 will be extremely hard to match, but also
I'm actually listen. I'm only like a month and some change into reacting or knowing about BTS and knowing about K-pop in general, but. It's you guys' comments and your anticipation for them all to come out and to see what they have in store for all you guys actually has me excited as well. Like I'm curious to see what's gonna happen or what the first song they're gonna drop is going to be. I'm actually really curious and looking forward to it.
K-pop categories in
that makes me an army, doesn't
will
it?
go for BTS members either way. Even in South Korea, J-Hope, the only BTS member who has released a solo album until now, already has 6 award nominations,
Facts.
including Song of the Year and Artist of the Year, against himself in BTS. So stop trying to find the next BTS because
I'm not gonna lie to you. I gotta see. You guys let me know what song this music video is
has
to.
6
'Cause it
award
looks crazy
nominations,
and I wanna react
including
to it.
Song of the Year and Artist of the Year, against
Look at him,
himself
bro.
in
He's on fire.
BTS. So stop trying to find the next BTS because number 1, BTS is still here, and number 2,
Facts.
you're setting your groups up for failure. Music labels,
Facts.
K-pop fans, and the media need to wake up and stop humiliating their groups like this. Let your performers become artists. Let them be small
Facts.
so they can grow, and let them grow organically, because that was
Facts.
BTS's story, and they did not become the next somebody. They became the first
Facts.
BTS.
사실 저는 그 제2의 방탄소년단 제2의 뭐뭐
You tell him, Sugar. You tell him.
좀
August
존재하지 않는다고 생각을 해요. 저희.
I'll say that.
Performing on the biggest stage in the world was just one step in my journey.
Congratulations
Hi, I'm
to
Ronnie,
you.
an IT
Congratulations to you. Congratulations to you. Dang, they got everything here. Congratulations to you. But anyways, guys, listen, I appreciate y'all watching this. I appreciate y'all recommending this. And I appreciate y'all supporting me. If that is if you support me. You know what I mean? That is if you support me. Throughout the video, I mentioned how I want my channel to look or what I anticipate for this particular channel So, let me know in the comments what you think. Also, don't forget about the link to the Patreon where literally my whole live video will be posted. And like I said, when I go live, I'm literally looking at the comments and reacting to it. So if you ever have anything you wanted me to react to that you feel like I can't get to, join the live or join the Patreon or join the live and join the Patreon, because literally if you ever miss a live, it's all uploaded there. It's all uploaded there. Anyways, I appreciate y'all and I'll see you on the next video. Thank y'all.